Man, that shit smell good as hell, dog. I'm Jamal.
Peace, Silas. So you trying to get something to bring them nerves down too, huh, bro?
Yeah, I figured if I study high, take the test high, get high scores, right?
Right.
Right.
Jets, nigga, know what happened. Look up to the Taylor gang, rolling up the paper plane. 501 young, fools talking it, but they don't want none. What up, Will? Yeah, bitch.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaMFDon for another episode of Country Fan Mail Podcast. Today we got a really special episode. I know I say that every goddamn episode, but I promise you this episode is special as a motherfucker because we're gonna be talking some real shit. I got somebody who I've been super hyped to have come on to the show. This is something that honestly we can't really go into detail with just how much this has been in the planning. And I'm just super proud of this dude and the shit that he's doing in the industry. The cannabis industry is what I'm talking about. So without further ado, bringing in the big homie, Cliff. What's good, my G?
What's happening, Clue, my man? Blessing to have you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming on to the show, man.
Yes. It's great to be here.
Yeah,
it's
man.
It's about time. It's about time. It's
definitely about time, man. Long time coming, man. Long time coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Cannabis Takeover episode, man. So we definitely gonna be talking about this, this magic plant, you know what I'm saying? This magic plant, what it is. So usually I ask people what's the first song they listened to when they woke up this morning, but I'm gonna switch it up.
All right. Cool.
What was the first strain you smoked this morning?
Well, to be fair, like I stopped waking and baking, so I'm getting older now. I gotta get my priorities together and stuff.
I feel that shit.
My wake and bake is like in the afternoon for real. It's like
I ain't there yet.
Yeah. It's like let me get through the morning, see how I feel, and if these people upset me, if life upsets me, then we will see where we're at. But to answer your question, what I've been feeling right now is dark rainbow. I can't remember what it's a full cross of, but I know it's got rainbow belts. One of my favorite like sativa leaning hybrids. Like
okay,
uplifting. It'll get
what about it makes it your favorite?
Oh, we got a lot of favorites. Like I'm pretty sure anybody listening, like if you're in a recreational state or if you're in a medical state, like they got so many strains across the board. But if you all ever run into Ray Charles, it's an actual strain name called Ray Charles.
That sounds dangerous.
In the medical field, I believe Curaleaf cultivates that flower, and Ray Charles is pretty much a indica heavy flower. Indica heavy.
So explain. So for people who don't know what indica and sativas are, explain the difference between the indicas and sativa, please.
Oh, real easy. Sativa, you're going to be up, energized, focused, creative, and indica, like anybody would say, you're in the couch. You're going to be sleep. You're going to be relaxed. Gotcha. Mood is calm. Anxiety gone. That kind of thing. So
okay. And this Ray Charles, you said is a super or high indica.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said that's one of your favorites?
Yes, absolutely. I need it.
I feel that, man. Okay, all right, and that's actually a really good segue. So you went into the use that word need, and I think it's a really good word for us to use because when you move into the medical side of cannabis field, can you kind of just explain a little bit of your background there and essentially just a little bit of what cannabis can do for people medically?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm located in Maryland. I've been working in the cannabis industry for the past 2 years. I currently work at a dispensary in Maryland, and I'm a patient consultant for sure. So what that involves is explaining to new patients or even people that are looking for a change in the method in which they consume cannabis. They're looking for something different, and I'm there to give them that answer. I might not always have it, but I'm pretty good. I'm about 98% when it comes to my decisions for people. Like, okay, I don't miss.
So where did that come from? Did that just kind of come with experience?
It's a little bit of both because I'm sorry. When you have a a medical field where, there's so much stigma, like, oh, they have anxiety. They're trying to just push this on, on whoever. They just want to get high just to get high. They're not battling any real issues. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
And with me experimenting and like getting to know like the different forms of cannabis, a lot of it is trial and error, but I lean on the community, the cannabis community, because one person can't know everything. No one can know everything. And I probably would die trying to test all the different forms of cannabis on my body, high
Yeah, I can
levels
imagine.
THC. Oh man, it's crazy. So between personal experience and then leaning on the cannabis community, like not just in Maryland, but like throughout different states, like you see a lot of similar things, but then there's a lot of unique things that we also see. I know we talk about that often. Like
Yep.
we just be like, yo, look at this. I'm like, nah,
Shit's
you gotta
wild.
see this.
Yeah. It's a different place out here. And just to give clarification for anybody that's watching, I do live in California. We both live in places where we can both talk about this and practice freely. So if anybody listening and watching, but with that being said, it's like moving out here, my eyes were just kind of blown as far as the industry because being raised in a state, well, majority of us were raised, well, all of us were raised in states technically that were illegal at one point. But essentially after that, still living in states that were just continuously being illegal and then moving to one that wasn't, or that where it was legal, it blew my mind. It's completely opened the doors for me on a different level. And
Oh man.
for me, cannabis is much deeper than just wanting to get high. It's much deeper than just, wanting to, that's it's not like that. I actually don't like to be in a place where I'm like too high and I can't find, like I don't like that. I just needed to bring myself down, anxiety, to bring myself up sometimes, depression,
Yeah.
PTSD. There's so many different things
Mm.
that can kick in. And yeah, that's something that, I definitely want you to talk about, because I think sometimes people have the misunderstanding that those things, especially PTSD, only is in reference to veterans and trauma
Mm.
victims. Like
Mm.
it's so much broader than that. Like I feel like the spectrum of it is so much broader than that. I feel like cannabis definitely helps out people a lot better ways than saying some of these opioids that people are getting addicted to.
Oh, for sure, for sure. One thing with my actual business that I like to do is I have some clients that come in and they might want to change the method in which they consume cannabis. They might be heavy smokers, but they might want to try edibles. Now, I'm no medical professional, but I like to raise these questions like, do you know what you're getting into? Like, do you know your medical history as far as do you have high blood sugar? Edibles
Mm-hmm.
have sugar. You pop in 5, 6, 7 of them trying to get high, and then all of a sudden you feeling sick, and it's not a THC psychoactive feeling. You probably need to go see a doctor. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of mindful things that I like to just let people know, because the first dispensary you go to, the first anything where cannabis is involved, you don't care. You're just going for it. It's a new world. It's a new world.
Yeah, it's like fuck
So
it, it's different. It opens your mind up.
so I say all that to say that when it comes to opioid use, we really don't know what's in there. You could tell me it's anything, and I just have to believe that. But on the back of some pamphlets, I wish I had one. They
And
have
nobody fact checking the doctors.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So with the edibles, they have the nutrition facts, so you know how much of whatever it may be, your caloric intake, whatever you want to call it, you know what you're getting there, and then the ingredients list, so you can stay
Mm.
away from those things. In case you're allergic, if you practice a form of religion where you can't have certain things, or even personal for yourself, there's gelatin, a lot of gummies, pork byproduct. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You still want to get high, we got other options for you.
So talking about these other options, I have a few different options here, of course.
Oh yeah,
So
let me see.
first one I want to talk about is RSO. So this is for the camera if y'all can't see. And shout out to the Weed for Warrior Project. That is an initiative in support of SB 34, Senate Bill 34, which allows for dispensaries out here in California to give tax-free donations to us veterans in which we can use it because we need it. So this is some
Beautiful.
RSO from them. Can you tell me about RSO? Like, how do I use this? Because I ain't gonna lie, it looks a little scary. I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like. It looks a little intimidating.
So RSO, first let me say that it was created by Rick Simpson for him to treat his skin cancer. So what we're working with here is a powerful form of concentrated cannabis that comes in a syringe, and its
There's no needle,
texture
y'all. There's no
is
needle. Y'all be
it's
tripping.
kind of weird. But there's so many uses for it. Like it can be a topical. Um, there are people that take a grain of rice sized amount, put it on the plunger. You got to dose it. Does it have those dosing tick marks on there?
Yeah, it
Because you
does.
got to be very careful.
You said a grain
And
of rice?
enough like a rice size grain on a
That's enough
cracker.
to
That is enough. Now, depending on the severity of your
put this
issues, you
motherfucker
may
away.
need more. You may need more. You may need less. But
Yeah.
it's so versatile for different uses. A lot of people include that in their baking. It's just really hard to get the dose right for you. So I always say at the end of it all, edibles, flour, vapes, RSO, all that stuff, low and slow, because you can
Okay.
always add, but you can never really subtract. It
Okay.
don't work that way.
I like that. I like the way you said that because that's the reason why I don't really fuck with edibles because I feel like an edible is kind of like you're here, then you go up, and then you come back down. Whereas when you smoke, I feel like you're probably gonna be the highest you're gonna be right when you're smoking.
Hmm.
And then you might get a little bit higher, but then you not, I don't know. I don't like to wait on. I don't like to be guessing and shit. But it's
Yeah.
not. Honestly, it's not that bad depending on what I use. So I
Hmm.
have this raw honey here, this cannabis infused honey,
Hmm.
and that right there, I drop it in some tea, and I mean it's like it's honey, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I drop it in tea, and it it doesn't really hit the same way that an edible does. I feel like edibles knock me on my ass. I don't know what it is. Like I take an edible, I'm going to sleep. Like it don't matter
Hmm.
what the fuck it is, don't matter what. It could be 2 milligrams THC. It's gonna feel like
It
I done
don't matter.
smoked 2 blunts. But yeah, and it's just wild. But I don't like being like that, so I rarely am gonna sit back and eat edibles. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Absolutely.
not my vibe.
It's more like you mentioned, like you mentioned the activation time. That's why a lot of people like to smoke. If you have
That's what it's called,
anxiety,
activation time.
yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got their like ways that they like to say it. I like to call it activation time. When you're smoking, you got a panic attack, you're suffering from PTSD, and you have a pre-roll on hand.
Yeah.
It's only going to take but that long for it to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as opposed to an edible, like you might have that same panic attack, but that edible might not do you any good because you need instant relief for that. You need instant relief. Um,
So is that
so
something for you? I'm sorry, not to cut. I'm sorry to cut
oh,
you off,
you're
but
fine, man. It's all
would
good.
you? Because like I'm just like, yeah, this is like I had to ask all the questions I can. If you have somebody that does suffer from panic attacks, one of your clients does, they say they suffer from panic attacks. Are you saying that you would probably more so suggest that they take something you would probably not prescribe, but suggest that they probably smoke flower because it's more instant relief versus like you were just saying taking an edible,
Um, I really leave
or
that
it's case
up
by
to the
case.
option. It's really case by case because you may have those scenarios where um, I mothers, they are here, there, everywhere, and who wants to really smell like weed outside? Who wants to smell like weed around their children? So I get a lot of vapes because it's odorless. Um, or if it is an odor, it doesn't smell exactly like that strong cannabis flower smell that like somebody you can tell like no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. So that might be an ideal thing. They're still smoking, activation time's the same, but like the actual like consumption method just like a little different.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense. And
Mhm.
something that you had just said that I kind of wanted to segue into, for me, I feel like I'm a little different because I didn't start smoking until I was older. You know, I was much older. I didn't smoke when I was younger. Essentially, then I went to the military. So it was just, you know, a lot of times that I just wasn't doing it. And you know, there was a time where I used to like laugh at like the memes and shit where they feel like, you know, there's, you know, those cousins that smoking, you know, everybody coming out and everybody, you know what I'm saying, or they all disappear right
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving and shit, right?
Oh,
And I never was part of that crew until I was. And then I was like, ah, shit, but I was a grown ass man by the time it
man. If
happened.
you know, you know. If you
Man,
know,
listen,
you
you just
know.
got to, you know, everybody look at, you know what I'm saying? That look.
That looks it. All right. That's it. That's all it is. There's not even words. It's like its own sign language. It's nuts.
It's a
But when
whole
them
sign
eyes
language.
connect, like if me, I'm like, and you like, we out.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll be right back.
And, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come back smiling and shit. So how is the stigma out there still in Maryland, even though it's, you know, so it's currently it is decriminalized, correct? And it's now just open for medical dispensaries, not recreational yet.
Correct. That might be, I believe that is on a ballot. Don't quote me for this year. So if it does go through, then Maryland could be seeing rec maybe springtime 2023. But I'm no psychic. I don't know. But it looks like it's gearing up for like the next year, 2 years. It could be recreational in Maryland.
Damn,
It's
that's
really
soon.
exciting.
That's really soon. You know, it seems like a long time away, but you know, when you get old, 2-3 years, that shit go like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Like I still be like, what the fuck happened in 2021 and 2020? But that's what's up. That's really soon. And I, you know, I kind of think about it, and I battle back and forth with, you know, everyone wanted to live in a state again where it's not legal. And it's more so just because coming from, you know, where I'm from, like there was kind of a stigma on, you know, people who smoked, just because clearly it was illegal. So it's like, you know, clearly there was some type of stigma about it, but it didn't really stop anybody from doing it. So it's kind of like at this point, but it's still at this point still illegal. I mean, it's still illegal. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has really changed with those laws. So it's kind of like,
Right.
what the fuck? And it's really, you know what I'm saying, it's really, really frustrating when you really think about it, when you learn about the laws and really just how they do things, like how CBD itself is federally regulated. I just learned that, you know, the other day. And, you know, it's like you can regulate CBD, but you haven't figured out a way to regulate, you know, THC flower. But once that shit happens, I really don't know what the hell is going to happen. I think I'm just going to move to Canada.
It's crazy. It's going to be crazy. A lot of times, what I've seen is everybody's like, oh yeah, we can't wait for it to go recreational and everybody can smoke, but then they are going to tax heavy. That eighth that was once $45, by the time you got your sales tax, you got your state tax, possibly a cannabis tax, I'm not sure, that will turn to like $83 for that same eighth. But it's recreational, so you can just come in, boom, do what you want, but it's not going to.
That's wild.
It's not going to be not kind to your pockets at all.
Yeah,
at all.
And I mean, I guess, and I mean, it's not like it's. I mean, even though out here, it's not like it's cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's still, you know, if you want to get something decent, you know, you're gonna be paying $45-$50 for an eighth. Going to a dispensary, unless you want to deal with the illicit market, which of course is a whole different, you know, story. But it's like you're putting yourself at risk. So now you have to deal with pay a 25% markup or go down the street to the homie. And you know what I'm saying, it's a tough world that a lot of people live in. And honestly, when I started smoking, I started to realize just how many people smoked. I did not realize just how many people smoked. And now looking back, like I was like, I know all those teachers, all my teachers I knew they were smoking. Like West Spec, every teacher at West Spec smoked. I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
No. Wow. I can't speak on my teachers. I don't know. I just, if they are seeing this, I just hope they just send me a message or something, just like, yeah, I do smoke. Like, yeah, like pull up on me one time. We don't have to talk about it.
The stigma is just changing out, and I love the fact that it's changing, because you know, I feel like I said, you know, smoking THC, not just smoking, but the cannabis itself, it does wonders for people. You know, there are some things that were disproven to me a couple of days ago as well. Well, actually, no, this was like a couple of weeks ago actually that I learned this, but I didn't know that if you have a topical like I have here, which is an amazing topical that I use on any of my aches and pains, me and the wifey. If it has THC in it and you rub it on top of your skin, it will not soak into your bloodstream like a lot of myths would say. So if you still have to worry about drug tests and things like that, you can still use a THC topical on your skin. Did not know that. And it probably would
Definitely.
save so many people so many issues. But that's
I'm
the shit that they
telling
don't
you,
tell.
the topicals are so slept on because if you have real physical pain now, with anything like with smoking, with edibles, with anything, and you have anxiety or some like trigger of stress, I always say like you need more than just like that particular substance. Like it always pairs hand in hand with some sort of therapy, some sort of like life coaching, anything. Cause like if you're smoking by yourself,
Okay.
you're doing that thing by yourself, it's just you. You're still in isolation. So it doesn't make it any better.
So you think it's
So
almost just as damaging as, and this might be a reach, and some people might jump down my throat for saying it, but I don't give a fuck. I've been on both sides of the line. Do you think that smoking is by yourself is just as damaging as drinking by yourself?
no, I can't say for sure because like when you drink and you're by yourself, well, I'm gonna just have one more, then I'm gonna just have one more, then I'm gonna just have one more, then you're sick. Do the same thing with the joint. Well, I'm gonna just have one more, then I'm gonna just have one more. Honestly, by the time you just have that number, another one, if you rolled it right, you forget about your anxiety. Shoot, you forget where the weed's at. So
Yeah.
it's like it's
You
like
be forgetting.
the side
Everything just
effects
be like, what the fuck? Like,
the side effects of over medicating, they can be like
it's
harmful,
completely different.
but it's completely different. Like not only mentally but physically as well. Some people you'll hear that I had a bad batch of something or I had something. It might have been like they needed to relax, but they got a sativa instead and they got turned up. And when that
Mm,
hypervigilance, that hamster wheel starts going, you can't stop it. You can't stop it until it wants you to stop.
man, see, that's another thing that I've also learned. I can't, will not say when this happened, but dealing with the illicit market, when motherfuckers don't know what the hell they're selling you, when they're just like, yo, I got that fire. What is it? Oh, it's that good. Good what? Like, I feel like I'm so fucking bougie at this point. Like, I need to know everything.
Man,
Like, I mean, I'm trying to tell you, like, if you can't tell me, and like I said, I don't care about the packaging. They don't gotta. You better act like you know what's in that goddamn plastic bag.
that's all. I mean, that's important because that's a safety thing all around. Like I do it. Like for
Exactly.
one, you don't know like what's got fentanyl in it and not. Like I've never been around any flower that was laced with anything, so I couldn't know offhand like what to look for. But
Exactly.
you
I
got
don't feel
that.
like I have either. Hopefully not.
You also got the fact that now that it's recreational and medical in some places, now people are on their shit now. Like people are understanding like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. So now you got people like you say that's bougie that with that illicit market, but at the same time, if you're paying your money, you need to know what you're putting in your body. You gotta know, no matter what the price
Exactly.
is, you gotta know.
Definitely just definitely know what you're putting in your body. I definitely feel that and I agree with that. And with that being said, kind of switching gears a little bit, tell me,
Hey,
give me something. Tell me one of your funniest high story. Actually, I can start. I can tell you a high story
yeah,
where I can start.
please. I gotta figure out a good one.
So not throwing out any timelines or anything like that, but it was one of my first time smoking, and I'm smoking, and I'm with my friend at the time, and we're sitting there, and I'm sending a text message, and I remember I'm sitting there listening to Kendrick Lamar Section 80, and I
Hey,
remember I'm just listening to that. So that whole damn CD is like chop and screwed
Quavo.
California
Mhm.
type shit.
Need it.
So when I tell you, it took me about 3.5 songs to send a 7-word text message to my mother. I was tripping. Like I could not get my fingers to move. It was my first time using a bong.
Oh,
So I was just like, I was after I got done coughing. Yo, listen, I was so stuck. Like I've never felt more stuck before in my life. And honestly, I didn't smoke again for like another like couple years after that.
wow. It hit you like that. It was
Yo,
like,
I was like,
we
nope,
good.
it's not me. Yep, got it. Cool.
I'm not even mad at you. That's a lot of people's like they try something and then it's like, nah, yo, I gotta chill out for a little bit. But
Exactly.
I personally think because you get a lot of those edible stories, you get a lot of those first time smoking. I just think that it's like the THC and the other cannabinoids like that make up the plant, like just getting into your system for the first time, and you're like, wow, what is that? Like, what is that? It's too much. It's like almost overwhelming if it's like not that low and slow approach. You know,
So what
you
what
get
are
a
some of those
brownie.
other effects that some of the other stuff can have? I know, 'cause I know there's like there's CBN, there's
Mhm.
there's so many different things in the plant. Like, and I know there's there's tons of them, so of course you can't go through them all. But like when you talk about the big five, you know what I'm saying? THC, CBD, CBN,
CBG. I got
CBG.
you. I'm here for you.
Please,
I'm
please,
here
yeah,
for you,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So when you talk
So
about those, like I know, like they say CBN and CBG are what they look for as far as the medical side of things, correct?
yeah, in different ways. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna tell you my high story before
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forget.
please. Yeah, we got
Um,
sidetracked. My bad.
so CBN is something that is a cannabinoid, just like THC or CBD, where I would personally recommend if you find any products that have higher amounts of CBN than any other cannabinoid, that's going to be for sleep aid. That's going to be a sleep aid for you.
CBN for
Um,
sleep aid. Okay.
CBG, I get a lot of clients that have anxiety, but where their anxiety hits them physically is in like their stomachs. They might have like stomach cramps, or they might have a hard time eating or not wanting to eat because there's just like that fog. There's like, I'm just like, something's
Yeah.
tight down there. So for some, CBG also helps with that. Like those, like I just can call them stomach issues when it comes to anxiety. Like,
Huh.
I know anxiety well.
All
It's
right.
like my
Yeah. Yeah.
shadow.
Because yeah, my anxiety hits me in the stomach too. Like I get nauseous. It's
Nausea.
all bad. Like it's all
Hmm.
fucking bad. So I'm how I remember that is CBG is for gastro and CBN is for night night, nigga. I
Hmm.
like that. I think
Perfect.
that works.
That's perfect.
It's
And
done.
that with that right there, that sets the baseline for everything else you will want to learn with cannabis because you just associated those two things with something you can remember and you just build off of that. It's easy.
Hey,
It's that
listen,
easy.
that's how I've had some disrespectful memories of trying to memorize shit in my past. But anyways, I'm high. Please tell your story. Tell your funny
Oh
story.
no, no. So I think it was like 2012, 2013. Just like you, I started smoking late. Like I never really like got into that stuff. I had an experience in college, but it was like it was short lived, and I ain't even like it. So I just let it go. But like 2013, 2012, I celebrated 420 with a bunch of homies, and I had never had an edible before. Now, quick disclaimer, I watched the person make this edible and they just like took a grinder, did one of these, dumped it in brownie batter, and then just put it in the oven. And I watched him do that and I still took that. I took it anyway. So after I ate that, and I was fine, smoking. It's 420. We having a good time, music blasting. And it's time for me to leave. So I'm like, dang, I'm thirsty because THC will dry you out. I don't know how many
I learned
smokers
that the
that be
hard way. Yeah, that
hungry.
shit. That's like liquor. That shit was you be so
So
dehydrated like a motherfucker.
the edible hit me in 7-Eleven, and I stayed in that 7-Eleven for like 2.5 hours,
Oh no.
just
Was it a big
wasted.
7-Eleven?
Nope, it wasn't even big. I could see my way in and out of there. I just was there. I'll never forget, like colors were vibrant. Like I didn't know what I wanted. The indecisiveness of 7-Eleven runs is nuts. It's nuts. Don't give me $5. Don't give me $5.
What did
I'm
you
like,
leave with though?
couldn't even tell you.
Man, and it's great. I remember going on 7-Eleven runs with people that were high around me. and I wasn't high, and like I'll be like, man, if these motherfuckers don't hurry up, but like they literally be in there like, man, I don't know if I want these Fritos, or I can get this chili dip over the top,
Oh
or I
no.
can get these sour straws. It'd be like two different. Yo, it'd be two different mediums. I'd be
It's
like,
so
yo,
bad.
what the fuck is going on here?
And then wondering why your stomach hurting the next day. Like you
It's stomach be tore up the same night.
was dipping your honey bun in nacho cheese with your high ass trying to figure out why you hurting. Now it's not anxiety. That CBG can't save you. You just gotta let that run its course.
I was just
At
about to
that
say,
point.
but does the gastro part work?
You just gotta let that one go.
Oh man, that shit's hilarious, man. Man, so bringing it all full circle, man. So you mentioned your business, and you know, I know it's in the flyer, but I definitely want to make sure that you plug in your business and make sure that you let people know what you do specifically, like, you know, saying what your actual trade is, and you know, how they can reach you if they need the help.
Oh, absolutely. So, first off, my business is P Tech. I just specialize in cannabis education, so I'll do group trainings, one-on-ones, just to build up positivity in the cannabis community, just to build that knowledge up. It's a lot of newcomers that are scared and nervous because it once was this crazy stigma of I can't go outside and smoke because I'll get arrested. There are cousins,
Mm-hmm.
there are brothers, there are daughters, sisters, anybody, aunts,
Still in jail.
uncles in jail because of it. So they're like, I want to have it, but can I have a bag? Or, you know, can I like they're so afraid of what's to happen. So it's my job to make sure you're comfortable not only with the purchases you make inside, but when you step outside of the dispensary or wherever you are, recreational or medical, that you know what you're doing and you have that like buddy system, so you don't
Okay,
have to worry about something going wrong.
got you.
Um,
So kind of just guidance in a
mhm.
way. Okay,
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's
word.
professional paid guidance because everybody got their fee, but at the
But,
same
hey,
time,
everybody gotta eat.
everybody got to eat. I also work with small businesses if they are food vendors or bakeries, anything like that, and I show them how to infuse certain things. Like we're beyond just like putting weed in the oven so it can decarb and then make an oil that way. I got some different techniques that really like bring out the creativity in cannabis. So, in a
Okay.
nutshell, that's what I do. You can find me on Instagram at p.tecc101. And honestly, you could shoot me a DM in there for any inquiries. I have p.tecccllc@gmail.com as well. If you don't have any social media, you can reach me through there with any questions you may
That I'm so glad you did that, man, because you know
have.
there is still some people out there who don't have social media, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, shit, yeah, it's like that. So yeah, definitely gotta make yourself available, man. And once again, bro, man, I feel like I said, it's a long time coming. You
Long
know what I'm
time
saying?
coming.
And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Even when we met, you know what I'm saying, through somebody else. We met at the bachelor party. Crazy night. But anyways, but
Woo!
you know what I'm saying? But you know, we met, and we've been locked in ever since, man. And
Ever since.
you know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you coming on to the show. And I will make sure that I put all of his information in the description. So if you didn't catch that, you'll be able to click it in the description. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm going to try to link as much of the products and stuff that I showed in some type of way. If I can link it on YouTube, I don't know, maybe not. Just go to your local dispensary.
We'll work it out,
Um
man. We'll work it out.
yes, sir, man. But yeah, man, once again, man, it's been a blast, man. I really appreciate you coming on
Oh,
here, man.
anytime, anytime. We got something else coming too, don't we? We got
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. So what we're gonna be doing, so 420 is coming up, y'all. So what we got going on, 420, we're gonna have pretty much a couple short clips, how-to videos, more so in depth of some different products, some different cannabis products with Cliff, of course, and that's gonna be a pre-recorded show that's gonna be dropping on Country Fan Mail. Not sure exactly when it's gonna drop, but it will be definitely before 420. So we'll make sure that you have the weapons as far as the mental weapons to go out there and attack 420 responsibly, because we don't want you out there, trying to dab with a crack pipe. Just not do it. Let's just
not want to do that.
Similar, but not the same. But yeah, man. Once again, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Anytime, my man. I just dropped my joint. I rolled it and I dropped it. We out. We good.
So that wasn't even the right exit. So I'm gonna stop it. I was gonna let it ride, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna go back to the. All right, man. Much love, bro.
Man, that shit smell good as hell, dog. I'm Jamal.
Peace, Silas. So you trying to get something to bring them nerves down too, huh, bro?
Yeah, I figured if I study high, take the test high, get high scores, right?
Right.
Right.
Jacks, nigga, now we're having it. Look out to the Taylor gang, rolling up them paper planes. 501 young.